Inside you, right this very second, there are two incredible, totally invisible communication networks running, well, everything. We're talking about everything from your heartbeat to your thoughts. So in this explainer, we're going to take a journey through your body's master controls, starting with the fastest electrical sparks and going all the way to the most complex, long-term biological projects you can imagine.
Yeah, of course you have. We've all been there, right? That split-second reaction, the one that happens faster than you can even think, that's our way into the body's first master control system, the amazing nervous system.
So what's happening here is actually kind of mind-blowing. It all happens on a superlocal circuit. A tiny receptor in your skin basically screams danger. A sensory neuron zaps that message straight to your spinal cord, which, get this, doesn't even bother the brain. It just immediately tells a motor neuron to yank your hand back. Your brain only finds out about the pain after your hand is already safe. Incredible, right?
That reflex, it's the perfect example of what the nervous system does best: lightning-fast communication for immediate survival. It's basically your body's own fiber optic internet, using electrical signals to make things happen in just milliseconds.
But, not everything in the body can or even should happen that fast. What about the slower, more steady processes like growth or regulating your metabolism day in and day out? For that, we're going to need a totally different kind of messaging system.
And that brings us to our second master control, the endocrine system. Now, instead of electrical wires, this system uses chemical messengers called hormones. So think of it less like high-speed internet and more like a really sophisticated postal service, sending chemical letters through the bloodstream to targets all over the body.
And this chart just lays it out perfectly. It shows you their different job descriptions, right? The nervous system is all about the here and now. It's fast, it's direct, and it's over in a flash. The endocrine system, on the other hand, is for the bigger projects. It's slower to get started, but its effects are way more widespread and last a whole lot longer.
But here's the most important part. These are not rival systems. Not at all. They are partners, and they are deeply intertwined, constantly talking to each other to keep you running. And there's nowhere this teamwork is more obvious than when you're under stress.
So let's just imagine a stressful situation for a second. Maybe a car swerves in front of you or a sudden loud noise makes you jump. Your brain instantly perceives a threat. And this is where the nervous system essentially passes the baton over to the endocrine system. So here's how that handoff works. A lightning-fast nerve signal from your hypothalamus kicks off this hormonal chain reaction. It sends a message to the pituitary gland, which in turn signals the adrenal glands. Then, the adrenals just flood your system with hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, getting you ready for whatever comes next. And you feel the effects immediately, don't you? Your heart starts pounding, your airways open up to get more oxygen, sugar floods your blood for a quick energy boost, and blood flow gets rerouted to your big muscles. Your body is totally primed for intense physical action, and it's all thanks to this perfect blend of a fast nerve signal and a powerful hormonal flood. Okay, so we know these hormones need to travel all around the body, but how exactly do they get where they need to go? Well, they use the body's ultimate transport network, the bloodstream. See, your blood isn't just red stuff. More than half of it is actually this yellowish liquid called plasma. And that plasma is the superhighway. It's what carries the hormones along with all the nutrients, wastes, and everything else to every single cell in your body. But this superhighway has its own complex traffic rules. Your blood cells carry these specific markers on their surface called antigens, and that's what determines your blood type. It's just another fascinating layer of the body's incredibly intricate system for communication and self-recognition. It's like a constant silent ID check happening in your veins to make sure everything is working together safely.
Now let's zoom way out for a minute. Let's go from immediate survival to the most complex, long-term project these systems orchestrate, which is the creation of new life itself.
This is where hormones really, truly shine. They act as the architects of development, carefully following a genetic blueprint that was laid down from the very, very beginning.
It's honestly incredible when you think about it. Early on, we all start with the exact same basic hardware. The direction it all takes comes down to a single genetic switch on the Y chromosome, a gene called SRY. If that switch is flipped on, it signals the development of testes. If it's absent, the default path leads to ovaries. It's a fundamental fork in the road.
And that single genetic event kicks off an entire lifetime of hormonal messaging. The brand new testes or ovaries start producing their signature hormones, testosterone or estrogen. And those hormones then go on to sculpt the body through puberty and maintain those characteristics for a lifetime. It's this beautiful cascade, all starting from one single genetic spark to a complex, lifelong hormonal blueprint.
So whether we're talking about a split-second reflex or a lifelong developmental plan, what is the ultimate goal of all this unbelievably complex communication? Well, it's all in service of one fundamental principle.
Homeostasis. It's the tireless, nonstop work of keeping your internal world, your temperature, your blood sugar, your pH, within a very, very narrow range that keeps you alive, no matter what's going on in the world outside.
And this is so important to understand. Stability is not a static or boring state. It's an active, dynamic performance. Your body is like a symphony orchestra, constantly tuning all of its instruments to stay in perfect harmony. Every single second, this internal orchestra is performing countless tasks without you ever having to think about them. You've got hormones like insulin and glucagon fine-tuning your blood sugar. Your nervous system is adjusting blood vessels to keep your temperature just right. Your blood is constantly buffering its own pH. It is a non-stop, life-sustaining balancing act.
So, from the electrical spark of a single neuron to the slow, steady influence of a hormone traveling through your blood, these two master systems are working together in perfect concert. They are the conductors of the amazing internal orchestra that is you.
It's a pretty amazing thing to think about, isn't it? Every breath, every heartbeat, every single thought is the result of this silent, perfectly coordinated performance. It really makes you wonder what else is happening in there right now that we just take for granted every single day.